Hey gamers, it's Kwing here. Welcome to another Game Nights video review. This is Super Empire Strikes Back, and it's the second SNES Super Star Wars game, with enhanced graphics and new features. This game is based after Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. After the destruction of the Death Star, the Empire is searching for the Rebel base, and discovers them on the ice planet of Hoth. Super Star Wars 2 is basically the same side-scrolling action-adventure game as before, with new bells and whistles. Players start the game as Luke Skywalker, and unlike the last game, you can use the lightsaber right off the bat. As the game progresses, you unlock a total of 9 Force powers, although you only really need to use a few, but 9's still cool. Like the last game, you can play as 3 characters, Luke, Han, and Chewie. The game is divided into side-scrolling levels and Mode 7 stages too. The only flight sim in this game is the asteroid field, which was a lot of fun. Unlike the last game, it has a lot more platforming stages, and it's the hardest of the trilogy. In this game, the bosses are beefier, and Luke faces Darth Vader in a pretty cool lightsaber duel. Well, for the most part, the gameplay is virtually the same as the last game. You can shoot in multiple directions, you have, of course, the Contra 3 style bombs, but now Han and Chewie can carry grenades. You heard me right, grenades. Excellent. Which you throw with the A button. The double jump has been improved in this game too, and you do it by tapping the B button twice. Luke's lightsaber has a lot of uses in this game. For one, you can deflect enemy lasers, finally, while pressing down on the gamepad and holding in the Y button. Luke can deflect just about any attack in this game. You'll also notice a bar in the right-hand corner that says Force. By pressing Select, you bring up the Force menu, and then press L and R to choose between the 9 Force powers, although only 6 of them are actually cool in this game. Once you have your power selected, press the X button to use it. Flying is the same as before, with some minor improvements. For the Snowspeeder stage, you'll notice controlling the vehicle is a lot easier and kind of fun too. Just like the movies, players need to take down the AT-STs using the tow cables, and it is so much fun. The only flight sim mechanic in this game is the asteroid field, where you have to fend off TIE fighters and blow up asteroids, which it was okay, but I kind of like the Death Star trench run better. But it's not in this game, so you get what you get. Still, gamers, you need to brace yourself. This game has a lot of issues. Let's first start with the vehicle stages. When fighting off a lot of enemies in this game, it slows down. I'm not kidding. When you're flying in your Snowspeeder and you're facing off like the chicken walkers and these dudes in the hover bikes, the gameplay will slow down. And this makes it very hard to maneuver and avoid being hit. Ugh. Now, for some reason, the developer decided that the last game wasn't hard enough, so they cranked up the difficulty so much so that this game, I've ranked it as the 10th hardest video game of all time. Even on easy, gamers will still get pwned time and time again. The enemies are 10 times stronger than the last game, and they take a way lot more to kill, and I mean a lot. The mini snow monsters can freeze Luke and then beat the crap out of you while you're trying to de-thaw. What were they thinking? The bosses in this game, unless you know how to beat them, they will frustrate the living crap out of you, especially the Probe, Chicken Walker, Dagobah Monster, and of course Darth Vader. Don't even get me started there. This game's jump mechanic is terribly broken compared to the last game. It's just way too sensitive in this game, and you die a lot because of jumping. I mean, how can you even fathom that? I'm not lying either. Jumping in the last game was way better than this one. It's to the point where you'll be wondering, how in the world did I overshoot the platform again and again? Now, the jumping isn't your fault at all in this game. It's completely the game's engine, and that's a real shame. The health power-ups are scattered throughout the levels, and it's next to impossible not to take damage when playing this game. It is so hard to keep your health at a reasonable level. But wait, it gets better. The blaster power-ups are very hard to find in this game, and they only give you, get this, 2 per stage. Terrific! Still, out of all the crap, the worst part about this game is playing as Han and Chewie. If you thought playing as Skywalker was bad, at least he had a lightsaber to defend himself with. These guys have nothing. And the developers decided yet again to crank up the difficulty. More so! In fact, it's so bad that you can only beat their stages with a password. Wow. And I mean, wow. That's bad. Well, unlike the last review, I don't really have many good things to say about this game, and JVC and Lucasarts dropped the ball big time. All they had to do was improve the gameplay just a little bit. Instead, they did a complete overhaul and the opposite. The Hoth stages were a lot of fun and paid tribute to the movie perfectly. I liked using the tow cable stuff and taking down ATSTs. Loved the graphics for this game too, and they are very impressive compared to the last game. Paul Webb returned to do the music, and it was incredible yet again. Just like the last game, there is a debug menu, and you would be a fool not to use it. I do not advise playing this game cold turkey without cheating, and I don't say this very often, because even cheating, the game is still insanely flawed and hard. Anyway, the best cheat that I would use in this game is the all force powers. At the title screen, quickly press X, BB, Y, X, AA at the title screen. A sound will confirm the correct code. Press start before the demonstration mode begins, and then press select during the gameplay to access the many force powers. Okay, now let's talk about the force powers. They are great! Since power-ups are so few, the force health is a lifesaver, and it doesn't take up that much force power either. And trust me, you want to use this power like it's second nature, because it comes in insanely handy throughout this game. The saber control is awesome too, and it's perfect for attacking lots of stormtroopers. What you do is you press the X button, and then you can command where Luke throws his lightsaber. And this is great for doing long-range attacks too. The freeze is pretty cool. Get it? Cool. It freezes the enemies, and it's great for close combat and taking out groups of enemies, especially when you have low health. Turning invisible is awesome, although I would only use it in the bad Hoth levels, considering there are wave after wave of enemies, and it's best just to run through that level. The best power-up in this game is the elevation, though. Since the game's jumping is hideously broken, this makes it all better. When you fall, and you will, this is the only thing to save your miserable life. As long as your force gauge is full, you can come back from accidentally falling to your demise anytime in the game with the elevation force jump. Epic win! I mean, this move is so cool because as soon as you fall off a platform, it doesn't matter if it would kill you before, you just keep jumping and pressing up and Luke will save himself. That was pretty cool. The passwords are something that you cannot be without in this game, and sadly you will need them to skip the terrible Han and Chewie levels. But even the passwords and cheats aren't enough to save this game from the dark side. It has great action-adventure, bad platforming, great flight sim mechanics, decent vehicle stages, awesome music and sound, passwords, debug menu, great force powers, and playing with cheats makes it fun. Sadly, it's just not enough. The game is too hard as it is, and it has way too many issues and glitches. So Game Nights gives Super Empire Strikes Back a 6.5 out of 10, and I do not advise playing this game without cheating. With cheats, I think I'd give this game a 7.2 out of 10. Only one Star Wars game remains, Super Return of the Jedi, my personal favorite. Well, thanks so much for watching another Game Nights video review produced by me, Kwing. Keep it here for more of Swag's interviews, and please listen to our radio program every week. This is Kwing as always saying God bless and happy gaming. Until we meet again, gamers.